Brett Allen here, chatting with the wonderfully talented Marta Piekarz. We were talking before we started recording about the correct pronunciation of her name, and I got sort of confident and said, well, let's try it. And then she told me the exact pronunciation, and I was like, yeah, but as long as we get this good, we're good. Thank you for your time today. It's a pleasure to meet you.
No, thank you for having me on. And honestly, we could do one of those like, when you get put on hold and then they're like, we'll call you back. Just say your name. And you insert your name and it's like the shittiest recording. Wait, can I swear on here?
You're fine. Yeah, you're totally fine. Very cool. Well, we're talking about the Binge 2. It's a wonderful binge. And we have a lot of your castmates coming on. So, this film and the idea behind it is just so funny. And the fact that you were able to do a second one is even better. So what can people expect? What is your hope when they get a chance to watch?
I think, back in like the 2000s when they were releasing like a bunch of like crazy comedies and like some people loved them, some people hated them. For me, most of them were like my entire childhood and I still quote like a bunch of them. But that's what I kind of hope. I hope it's like one of those movies that kind of people are like, yeah, I had some good laughs. I saw a crazy concept. I saw drugs on Christmas. Very family like orientated, I guess. And yeah, like people are like, yeah, I saw a good comedy in 2022, which how often do comedy movies happen nowadays?
Yeah, usually it's like a lot of different other things, but people have sort of become accustomed to comedies. I think even just being able to watch them at home, especially on Hulu, I think with the power of streaming now, that I think that makes it easier for people to consume content, right? Because it's like easily accessible. You don't have, although I do support going into theaters, it's nice to be able to just throw a good one on and watch it at home, right?
Yeah, completely agree.
And you just had the premiere too. So how was that, being able to reunite with everybody and watch it with your peers? I imagine it had to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's such a blast because you're sitting right next to the people that are in the movie. And so you just kept doing one of these. You're like, and it's like way funnier. I don't know. It's like, it's fun to see because you know these people and then you see them on screen and you're like, yeah, they're not really like this. We're not all doing drugs and slam balls off of Christmas Santa's, shoe or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny premise too, like Christmas Eve, like everything becomes legal, sort of like The Purge or these Nope type films. So you have an interesting background because you did other things and now you're doing acting. Where did the transition happen for you? Like what interested you in doing this versus, modeling and influencing and that sort of thing? Like what was sort of the jump for you and go, oh, I want to do this now, or maybe I want to do both?
Well, it was something that I always wanted to do, like since I was like about, I think 8 or maybe 7 when Pirates of the Caribbean came out. I was so obsessed with that movie. I've watched it way too many times to comfortably say on the internet. But then because of that movie, I started fencing for like 9 years of my life. So I feel like it was always there in weird ways of like, oh, I've always wanted to try it, but growing up in the Midwest, it's not really like the most like appreciated thing. Like, people don't really support it as much. It's like,
yeah.
So it was like very hard to do. But then I got into modeling. And then one day I was walking around the flea market in Los Angeles. And I was always thinking, I was like, oh, maybe acting, maybe I should try it, or maybe I should just stick with school and just do school. And then I saw Margot Robbie at the flea market.
Oh, wow.
7 billion people in this world. And I saw the actress that was like my favorite at the time. Like there's a Harley Quinn was coming out, like the other one, something about a queen was coming out. And I was like, and I saw her and I just started crying. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign, or maybe I'm just a random girl that just saw this other random girl and it's not anything at all. But after I saw her, I literally I was like, you know what? I'm going to give acting a try. And pretty much the next day I signed up for Playhouse West. That was the first class that I did acting wise out here in LA. So that was like it was always there, to answer your question shortly. It was always there. But then I met Margot Robbie at a flea market and I was like, you know what? This is all I need. This is all I need to say yes.
Yeah. And the rest is history. Well, congratulations on all of your success, on all the things that you do. It's a wonderful binge. The Binge 2 streaming here on the 9th on Hulu TV. Congratulations to you and all of your success. It's fun to see the gang back together again. And I appreciate you hanging out with us today. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.